Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome back to Wealthy Sailor. Remember, we make a video every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We talk about business, economics, whatever I feel like ranting about, finance, whatever. I pick a topic, I talk about it, and if you enjoy it, you give me a thumbs up. If you don't enjoy it, well, you probably just don't watch it. So for today's topic, we're going to quickly talk about how to fix your credit. And the reason I say quickly is because I'm trying to condense these videos down to make it a little shorter. So we're going to try to condense them down a little bit, and we're going to talk about how to very quickly fix your credit. So way number one. So first step you do, pull your credit report. Credit Karma is great, annualcreditreport.com, great. Pull your credit report and find everything that's wrong with it. You're looking for mistakes, delinquencies, stuff like that. If there's a mistake, you can fight it. In fact, oftentimes, I haven't tried this, but I've heard of stories where if you tell a creditor that there's a mistake on your credit report because of the way Congress passed the laws, they have to then prove that you actually did what they did. So what they do sometimes is that if they can't prove it, they just take it off your credit report. This also works very well with debt collection agencies. Now, you still have to pay the debt, but if they can't prove that you had that debt, then sometimes they swipe it off your credit report. Now, I don't know how likely it is. This is just stuff I've read from other people, and I was reading on Reddit and stuff that people were talking about doing this. So give it a try. If it works, leave a comment below. I'm really curious. 2, pay off your delinquencies. Pay your bills. If you pay your bills, you can start fixing your credit. I will tell you that you're not going to be able to really fix anything unless all creditors are paid off. I'm not talking about like credit cards. I mean like delinquencies are paid up. You at least need to catch up on your current bills. Now, while we're on the subject, there's some misinformation out there saying that after 7 years, whether you pay a debt or not, it's wiped off. I don't know that to be true. Everything I've looked up is that it takes 7-ish years for a delinquency or for a missed payment or whatever to fall off after the debt is settled. Now, the debt doesn't have to be settled for the original amount, but it does have to be settled. You have to call and negotiate with your creditors, and you're going to have to do something with that debt because it doesn't start getting repaired until that's paid off. So, if you're thinking about buying a house and you currently have stuff in collections, then you're probably not going to have good enough credit to really be able to afford it for like 3 to 7 years. Now, even if you can't pay your debts in full, that's okay. Call them up and start negotiating. Most of the time, they will accept just about anything. The thing is that by the time your bill goes to collections, that collection agency paid maybe 3 or 4% of what your bill is actually worth. So if you owe somebody $100, they paid $3 for that. So if they get 20 from you, that's amazing for them. That's a really good thing. Otherwise, chances are they're not going to get any money from you ever. So a lot of times they're willing to take that. Not all times, but a lot of times they are. Okay, assuming you got all that stuff caught up and all your delinquencies are taken care of and you're at least on the right process and you're at least on the right track, the next thing you have to do is you have to start thinking about long-term accounts. One of the major factors for your credit report is how long accounts have been open for. And it's not a singular account, it's your average. So let's say you had some delinquencies, so you paid them off, and you probably closed whatever credit card or anything that was with. Then you need to start thinking ahead. You need to start figuring out what are you going to have long-term and keep open, because ideally you want to have something that you're going to keep open for 10 or 20 years. Now, if you have student loans, that's awesome. Okay, well, strictly speaking, student loans kind of suck, but student loans, because they usually take 25 to 30 years to pay off because you're paying such a low amount on them, it's a constant source of longevity within your credit report. So it tends to increase your average. Mortgages are another good source. Unfortunately, you need to have good credit in order to get a mortgage in most cases. Not all cases, but most. So, that's something. Car loans are not a good thing. I know car loans take a long time. Like, I know you can get a car loan now. I think you can get an 8-year car loan. I don't know why you'd get a loan for a depreciating asset that outlives the lifespan of the average car, but you can do that. I don't think they're a good idea because by the time they hit 8 years when it's really helping you, they're being closed out. So, if you need to get a car loan, that's fine. It's just not good for credit building purposes. So what I did was after I got my divorce and I had to kind of rebuild all my credit, I got 2 credit cards that have no fee on it. Now, they're not the best credit cards. I actually made a video about the credit cards I have. There's tons of credit cards out there that are better, but the reason I like these is because I've now had them for 6 years. which means both of them opened at the same time, along with my mortgage, my oldest mortgage, is actually doing pretty good long term for my credit right now. And I'm actually very happy with it, and I've been building off of that. Now, if you're wondering how to find a long term good credit card, go to Credit Karma. A lot of times you're pre-approved for that. If not, I would definitely still try to get a pre-approved credit card. It doesn't matter what the interest rate is for this purpose, because you're not going to use it all that much. And that leaves me my disclaimer. Do not get a credit card if you can't trust yourself to not use it. I use my credit cards every month, and I pay them off every 1st and 15th of the month. When I get paid, I just pay it off. So nothing ever is in there long enough to charge me interest, which is good because my interest rates are really high, but they're fee-free, and I get cash back on everything. So that's why I have my cards. But if you don't trust yourself, if you're the type of person that once you get a credit card, you want to go out there and spend, do not get the credit card. Just get a secure long-term loan from your local bank, and you'll be fine doing it that way. But the thing is that they want to know whether you'll be good or trustworthy with credit. And if you're not, then don't risk it. Don't get the credit card. Now, let's say you have credit cards and they're maxed out, which is really bad for your credit, by the way. So what do you do? Well, if you're just going to continue to max out cards, then there's not really much you can do. But let's say you decide you're not going to do that anymore, but you want to fix your credit. One thing that you can do, it's kind of a cheat. You can actually call your credit card company and ask them to increase your credit card limit. Now, again, don't do this if you're the type of person to go out and just buy more stuff. The idea isn't for you to buy more stuff. It's just to take your credit utilization from 100% maybe down to 75, which will make you go up like 20 points on your credit score. So it can be used strategically, but you have to be smart about it. I have a problem with credit cards and the way people use them, so I don't advise. If you even have a little bit of a doubt on yourself, I wouldn't do it, especially since you've already proven to max out your credit cards, so just be careful with that. So if you can't expand the credit limit on your credit card, then you have to pay down your credit card. Whatever you have to do, pay it down. Dave Ramsey will say something like, eat rice and beans and sell your car. So I don't know if all of that is exactly what you need to do. What you need to do with this step is you need to budget, and track your spending. Then use that information to come up with a payment plan for your highest interest credit card, and start paying it down. Unfortunately, it does take a long time. I mean, like if you're 10 grand in debt and you can only afford $400 a month, it's going to take you 2 years to pay that down. I'm sorry, it's just the way it works. A month worth of mistakes could take years and years to fix. It's just the way money and credit goes. Credit card companies love this because they love the fact that you just keep paying the interest on that card. Me as an investor, like I invest in Visa, I invest in MasterCard, so I mean, like, I guess it's good for me in some way, but it's really not good to take advantage of people when they may know better, but they just make a few mistakes. So that's why I'm warning you. All right, and number 6. I know I haven't been saying the numbers before I've given you all this advice, but this is the last one, number 6. It takes time. In order for you to fix your credit, like let's say you want to buy a house, which is what the example I used earlier was. If you decide today to buy a house and you have a credit score of like 550, then, I mean, you can decide that, but it might take you the next 3 or 4 years in order to get there with your credit. That kind of sucks. But the good thing about that is that gives you, if you have your finances under control to a point where you think buying a house is a good idea, just think of it like this. You now have 4 years to save for a down payment, which means you can put more money down. It means your mortgage payment is lower, which means if you need to move, you have a better chance of being able to rent that property out for a neutral or a net gain. So I think that just taking time out, staying goal focused is probably the best bet to do. Sometimes you just need to wait until things fall off your credit report. Sometimes you just need to let certain accounts mature in order to raise your average up high enough for it to increase. Well, anyway, guys, that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Leave me a thumbs up or a subscribe, comment, whatever. If you didn't like my video, leave that down there below too. I'm really good at taking criticism. So by all means, if you have any advice or anything for me, put it down below. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching and keep saving.